how are we going to win in Labour-facing seats, particularly with the young?
Well, as you and I have both agreed that we wouldn't do a deal with the Conservatives. And we've got most of our gains are going to be against the Conservatives. And I think actually we can use that when we're contesting Labour. We can show that we're an anti-Conservative party. And many Labour supporters in the areas that we want to fight will want to know that we're an anti-Conservative party. So the fact that both you and I, we agree on this, Iain, are clear, is that £200? Are really clear, that actually will set us up.
He's got more donations than you, Layla.
That's right.
So don't worry.
That will set us up for those seats. And I'm really clear, though, in our strategy that we need to be very robust in those Labour areas where you've got incompetent Labour MPs, ineffective Labour MPs, poor Labour councillors. We are often the only opposition the public have. We should be really robust in those seats. And, I've over many years, I've gone and campaigned with Liberal Democrat councillors and PPCs to campaign against Labour. There's no way that should stop. We should be really critical. We're an independent party. I've been worried about some of ideas which have been attributed to you, and I'm not going to say them, about a joint campaigning force and things like that. I think we've got to be very, very independent. And as leader, I want to establish ourselves in our own right to take on both the Conservatives and the Labour Party. That would not stop us having understandings in seats where we are the main challengers to the Tories and in seats where the Labour Party are clearly the only people who can beat the Conservatives.
So if we had Labour Party activists and Green activists campaigning with us in seats against the Tories, would you be against that?
I'd be very worried about it. Because
that's how I won Oxford, West and Abingdon. So it works.
You may have done, but actually we'd won Oxford and West Abingdon before, and we hadn't done that. So you could win Oxford, West and Abingdon without that. When Evan Harris won it, he didn't have that joint campaigning force. And the reality is a joint campaigning force would have to be reciprocated. So you'll basically be asking Liberal Democrats to go and deliver Labour leaflets in other areas. And I think party members might find that a bit troubling.
You said you're anti-Conservative. Would you both describe yourselves as anti-Labour?
In areas where we need to hold Labour to account, yes. I'm not in the Labour Party. I'm a Liberal Democrat. I'm very proud of liberal principles of freedom, liberal principles of devolving power to people, of radical reform, whether it's on the green agenda or the social justice agenda. I joined the Liberal Democrats when they were 4% in the opinion polls back in 1989. It wasn't a career move, Iain.
It's a masochistic move, that's what it was.
And I've been working this party for 30 years. I fundamentally believe in our values. I want us to be an independent, strong liberal force.
We take it as read that you're both Liberal Democrats.
Fundamentally, I'm not anti-anybody. And there are very many people who are Conservative voters and activists and whatever else who actually I have huge respect for. But the party as a whole, the Conservative Party where it is now and where it's positioning itself, and Boris Johnson and his inability to deal with the crisis in front of us in a way that's coherent, actually, and also their stance over Brexit, and also some of the social views of a lot of their membership, I dare say, at the moment, is very, very far away from the Britain that I want.